Okay, so November 13th, right? This second video, okay? I'm just following up. Alright, so from the last video, okay. So anyway, remember I said I had cottage cheese in my freezer? Well, there they are. Okay? Now these are been there for a long time. I don't even know how long. Okay, all I know is they're not moldy because they're frozen, right? So I'm just letting them unthaw, people, and I'm dehydrating them, and I'm going to add them to what I bought yesterday. Okay, now this is dry cottage cheese, right? It was on sale. I got them for $3.99 each. I bought, what, 4 of them? As you can see, it dehydrated really nice, right? I'm just going to break them up a little bit. You know, maybe take a, I don't know if I want to, you know, try and just break them up so that they fit better in the jar. Okay? And for the most part, this is all dry curd. Because I like to make pierogies, petahe, right? See, dry curd. Dry curd. This one, I don't think so. I think this one's creamed. And if fat-free, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, they're all, once they're unthawed, they're all going into the dehydrator. And I just wanted to show you that it's possible to do this. I've already done yogurt when Pastor Granny was alive and just was giving me all that yogurt. And went through that, and you can do sour cream, and if you want, you can do eggs. And well, I'm trying to make room in my freezer upstairs for this tallow lard coming. Okay, and you know, it's been sitting there for a long time anyway, so maybe I'll be more apt to use it this way. We'll see. Right? Again, there's only so much you can do in one day by day. Okay? So, hold on. Just so you can see how I'm doing this, I just took this. This is from one of those spice grinder things. And I'm just going like this. Right? Because it scratches up your hands here. Break it up. Hold on. And then as you do this, okay, now I put these ones in here. This is going to get full now, okay, because I've got all that. So, right? Just throughout the week, right, every now and then as you walk by. Just shake it around, okay, because then it can breathe. And, you know, any moisture in there, maybe, you know, there's a little piece there or something. You do this, it helps to, just like those raisins, they just get drier and drier and drier, right? Okay? I'm impressed with this. I really like this. Now, if this was creamier, then you'd have more powder. But this is all dry curd, so I'm extremely happy with it because I'm just happy with it, people. So I recommend maybe doing this. Hold on. Okay, so what, today is November 14th, 2022. Probably about 5:30 in the morning, okay? Well, here we go. Yeah, see? Told you. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open these up one by one. But before we throw everything into one thing, we're going to throw it into an individual one, and we're going to move it around. We're going to look at it, make sure it's all okay, right? Now, these have been in the freezer for a long time, so anyway, and then we're going to rub it and break up the larger chunks, and then we're going to spread it on the dehydrator, so hold on. Okay, looking pretty good from what I can see. You can see it's still kind of frozen, right? So I'm going to break this up and just go from, sorry, wandering away. See, it's still kind of frozen in there. Hold on. Okay, so being frozen changes the texture. It turns it into a very grainy and fine. Now, mind you, this is just dry cottage cheese. But this is good. Okay, so when it dries, I suspect it's going to be a little more powderier than if you were to do it fresh like I just did. This one's more creamy, so I'm just going to put this one on a, you'll see, hold on. Okay, so as I was saying, this is just the dry cottage cheese. It's on a fruit leather tray, right? That has no holes on it. Put that on the bottom. And then this one here is breathable. So, right? And then another one, another one. Okay, so moving along, this is the first batch of pork fat that I did. This has been strained twice. It's been sitting outside, so it's really nice and cold. Okay, now what I find the difference between pork fat and beef fat, you can bring pork fat up to a higher temperature before you see. I just want to turn this upside down, so I don't know, hold on a minute. Okay, so that is exactly why I did what I did, although I prefer in a clear bowl. Okay, but I knew I had a lot, so that's why I ended up doing it in the pot. So now I'm just going to scrape this off and put it in there and then cook it up with something. I got potatoes, so maybe I'll fry up some potatoes or something. Obviously I can't see as well as I'd like to, but if it's going to do this, it's going to do it at the bottom of the pan. Everything settles, right? You want to give it time to settle, and right? So hold on. Okay, and anytime you're working with hot oils, you need metal. Okay? We know why we're using quart size, right? So now I'm just going to bring this up, not quite to a boil, but just getting close. Okay? But you want to warm it up slow. Okay? So, because, you know, I find that this one can tolerate being at a higher temperature for a little longer than this one. But this one you don't put for on shelf, like shelf stable. You can in the right, but okay. This one you have to freeze because that's the beef. Excuse me. I just turned on the freaking burner. You know, yesterday my eyes were a lot more, I don't know, copacetic. I could see a little better. Today, I don't know. It's more hazy, right? I'm always in the dark. This is a very dark house. Alright. So anyway, warm it up. Get it almost to a boil, not quite, just when it's just getting to that point. Because I find if you bring it to a boil, you know, it not only is it dangerous, it can rise up fast. But it kind of defeats the purpose in terms of the more you heat the animal fat, the more you deteriorate what's good about it. Okay? So you just want to get it just that right kind of little spot where once you fill up your jar and I use new lids for this. Anytime even for what I do in the fridge, I use new lids. I like to pre-label them first because I find it's easier to write on them before you put them on, and you know you have to wipe things down. And if you put it in the fridge and then you try and write, it's just better if you do it first. So I've got 5 lids to start with anyway. I have a bit more in a pot out in the porch, plus I've got whatever's in there that I haven't strained yet. Strain yet, right? And get yourself a wooden spoon or something. Andre's always using my freaking wooden spoons. Loses my silverware, right? Just move it around, let it just heat up kind of slow, right? It doesn't take long. And see, I scraped off that stuff at the bottom. It was only in a couple of little patches. From what I could see, it wasn't all over. It's not dangerous. It's just, you know, water can breed bacteria and stuff. Not at the bottom of a jar full of freaking lard, but besides that point. Just whatever. What else do I got to do but to take just that little extra time to you know. And then we've got the beef fat here, which isn't very much, but I still have about that much to cut and have to do, right? But, you know, doing what I've done, like, that's all I did for like a day and a half was, but I sliced my finger there, and I don't know, somewhere else. My hand is all right here, right here, right there. Especially those two places, right, with the knife. Just, oh, so lucky. I'm just, oh, please don't slice yourself, because I'm dealing with, it's not here. Just sharp knives anyway. So you see it's already starting to melt. Be careful not to splash yourself, especially if it's hot, which I just did. But in this situation, it's not hot yet. Okay? Because I just turned on the heat. So that was warm. But pay attention to that. Otherwise, you're going to get a second-degree burn. And the longer that grease stays there, the deeper the burn's going to get. Because it will be hot grease, right? It'll eat through the skin. So be careful. Right. Try and use a deep pot when you do this. Like, not a deep pot, but like a wide pot, right? You know, just, and then, yeah, leave yourself enough headspace in your pot. But we're not going to bring it to, like, we're not bringing it to a boil. We're just bringing it to the boil. We don't want to boil it. It's unnecessary. As long as you get it to almost at that point, turn off your heat and start jarring up your jars, flip them over. They'll seal. Okay, I'll be back. Hold on. Okay, so when you do this, you kind of want to work fast. So I took it from the point when I started to hear the little crackling as it was heating up. I didn't quite bring it anywhere near a boil, but obviously the more I took out of the pot, the hotter it was getting, right? So I can feel these jars. They're fairly hot. This one not so much, but these other two that went in last, oh yeah, that one you can barely touch. Same thing with that one. So, you know, but once you turn it over, just make sure you screw on your lids tight and, you know, just wear gloves or something, right? Now these jars are a little bigger, so, you know, take your time. If it should crack, back off. You don't want this on your body. Okay, anywhere. You don't want it on your clothes, nothing. So be quick to react, okay? Because it's oil. It will melt your skin, okay? That's probably why they recommend doing it in pint size. But, you know, you can get like, oh God, 3 to 4 pies out of one jar if you wanted to do in bigger bulk, right? So you just, you know, go slow, right? Turn it upside down, leave it like that 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is. And then turn them upside right. And then let them cool, and you'll see. You'll see at the end. So far, I've got 4 jars. So I'm happy with this. Now, before I start the next, what's left outside, a little more, I'm going to see if I can take out some from here, melt that one. I have to double strain it right while, I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to flip it over, scrape off anything, and then we'll see. We'll see. Because, you know, I need to get on with other things. You know what I mean? I still have to cut this beef, and, you know, I got to do these tallow ones yet. I've washed the jars. They're in the convection oven right now, so they're really, really dry. Absolutely no moisture in your jars, right? Hold on. Okay, so this one here, it wasn't as solidified, probably because of where I had it, but whatever. I don't got time. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm heating it up right now, okay? And just to be double sure, right, I've got this little strainer that I'm going to put in here, okay? And as this now, you can hear it. You can start hearing it crackle, right? Okay? Now, out of 4 jars there, one wasn't as hot as the other ones, because as it's heating up, you know, you don't want to, again, you just kind of want to just get it into the jar as fast as you can, you know, hot enough where it's going to seal the jar, because, you know, you don't want to ruin your lard. You don't want to start cooking it even before you've had a chance to use it. Now, it's not, I suppose you could use a temperature, a thermometer. You could, right? But as if I could see anything anymore, right? So, I'm going on the crackles. You can hear it starting to crackle, right? So when it's starting to crackle, that's, you know, it's getting hot. So in this situation, just stir it around. It's looking pretty clear, right? If you want to give it a few extra seconds because you're not too sure if you've got that little bit of moisture in your lard, right? Because, you know, this one I tried to flip over, but it wasn't hard enough. So I just ended up just putting it all into the pot because it was, yeah. But that's okay, right? I just want to make sure that first jar is just hot enough, right? It's hard to see. Now, if these don't seal, you could put them in warm water, like a low boil. Not even a boil, right? Like at 190, as if you were doing juice. Bring it up, that's where you'd use the thermometer, right? It's not a boil, okay? It's just at the hovering of almost at, it's a pasteurizing temperature. 185 to 190 is a pasteurizing temperature. And if I put the jars in a bit of water, right, technically you're supposed to cover them right up to the top, but this is just lard, right? You know, in that situation, maybe halfway at 190 for 15 minutes or whatever it is, just to heat it up, right? And then that would also seal the jar, right? Okay, so now you can hear it crackling. Okay, so I'm going to just turn it down a bit because we don't want to overheat the jar or overheat the oil. So, but we want to kind of keep it hot. So, some lard is better than no lard. Okay, you'll thank yourself for doing this. If you get a chance to do it, I highly recommend it. Now, the last time I did this, I didn't wipe the rims with vinegar because I forgot about it. So I just wiped them down. And this one here, I got a rag with a little bit of vinegar on it. It's looking pretty clean from what I can see. I need to be paying attention. Oh my God. I'm going past. Not, you see? I can't see people. Oh my Lord. This is where you can start a fire. I went over. I'm not paying attention. I need to be paying attention to what I'm doing. I've got grease everywhere now. Near the burner. So when you do this, pay attention to what you're doing. Okay? Most definitely. There's one greasy jar. It's because I can't see the headspace, that's why. Plus I wasn't paying attention. So, anyway, just carry on. Alright. I'm probably going to get 7 to 8 jars. That's good. Because I still have some in the oven. Right? Which I will be doing. very soon. Looks like I got 2 jars here, but I need to pay attention. See, I can't see with this strainer. I think that's the problem. And I can't really see what's going on with the jar here, but whatever. Yeah. See? Almost did it again. Oh boy. Using the strainer, I don't know about. Not maybe a good idea. Went past the rim again. Silly me. Today my eyes aren't as good today. They were a little better yesterday. Not much, but a little bit. For what it's worth. Right? Okay. I don't see nothing in here. So I don't know how much is left. So I'm just going to put this for now in here. And then I'm going to take out what's in the oven and just continue doing it, because if there's any moisture, it's evaporated a long time ago. So as long as it's strained, it'll be okay. Right, now we got this big greasy mess. So first we'll wipe the rims on these 2 extra jars. Right. I have vinegar on this one, so that will help. Just straight up vinegar on a rag. Either or, it's a greasy job. So, you can't avoid it, as hard as you try. Sure, pull the jar off the counter. Oh boy. I don't know. These ones are hot. Like, really hot. Really hot. And then after this, I'm going to get into the beef. Right? I'll do the pork first. See if I can fill up this 1 jar and get it over with. Right pretty much from the oven. After I strain it. Okay, hold on. Let me just carry on. Okay, so I didn't get much more left out of whatever I'm doing here, okay? That pretty much all crackling. Now, last time I did this, I let the animals eat the pork one, but the other ones prior to that I did freeze. This time, while it's still hot, I'm going to sprinkle in some seasoning salt with it before I freeze it. Just to give it a little extra flavor, right? I am debating about vacuum sealing these ones, because I've already got some in a bag. Little bags, right? You know, and then little bags and then into another bag. Right? And then I label either pork or beef. And they're already in the freezer. So in other words, they're not going to be very, you know, you don't want it to go freezer burnt. So I'm really seriously thinking about vacuum sealing these and trying to eat the other ones first before these ones, because, you know, these are good. Right? So let's taste it now with the seasoning salt. Andre really likes these. Yeah, they're really good, people. Okay, so we got 6. Oh my god. Oh my. You definitely want to sprinkle a little seasoning salt after the fact. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so we got 6 full quart-sized jars. And this little bit here, which with this in here, you can see. So I'm just going to pour it in there, and then I want to make at some point put cream chocolate pudding pie with whipping cream on top, or banana cream pie with whipping cream on top. So in this situation, right, I think I'll just use this for the pie crust. And we'll try it out, okay? Right? It'll motivate me to try and make pie in the next couple of days. After everything's all put away and cleaned up and everything, we'll make a little pie. Chocolate pudding pie with whipping cream on top. With homemade lard. It'll be so, so good. That's enough. I think it's what, 2/3 cup or something to making pie or something. I can't remember. Oh, but this is right. Oh, like you don't know. I'm gonna stand here and eat a whole bowl. So now we're gonna do the lard from the beef. I'll take out what I can here. Take out what I can. Then I'm gonna combine the two, because I still have enough probably for one more full jar anyway. I'll have to cut that up and get that rendering. I want to finish this, right? Get everything done. Oh my god, you don't know how good that is, people. That is so good. Okay, I'm getting real tired here. So anyway, I think this is recording. This is, I just decided to bag it up. It's not worth vacuum sealing for what it's worth, right? Just try and use it up within the next 6 months to a year if you can. That's just the pork crackling. So hold on. Going in the freezer. Okay, so last bag of beef fat. I couldn't do it last night. I was just too tired. So I'm going to put it in there, right? And then we've got this other one still doing whatever in there. And that, after I'm cut this, right? Now, mind you, I should just, I don't know, maybe do it all at one time. Either or, this is beef fat that needs to be jarred up. So hold on. Oh yeah, and I don't know, people, like, Marquine got a bike for Andre because the last one was stolen from the front yard during the day. Okay? Just like with my potatoes and shit. Okay? They came back 3 times. Well, actually 4, because they got into this one over here as well. But definitely rated 3 of them really good. You know, coming in and out, right? And, what do you call it? Anyway, Andre just got a new bike, oh, not even 2 weeks ago, right? Marquine got it for him. Wasn't new, but the point is, for him it was new. Because his other one that he had, which wasn't anything special, was out in the front yard. And somebody had just walked into the yard. This was before my stuff was thrown out. In terms of, you know, what my son did. Anyway, he just walked right into the yard and up by the front steps. Grabbed it and walked off with it. Well, they went in this morning. Went into the garage and stole Andre's bike. That's two bikes somebody in this neighborhood is stealing from a little boy. Like, it's bullshit, right? Andre's been looking for a key for his lock. So I'm like,
I'll lock for the key. That's what you mean.
you looking for the key for your lock? Or what were you looking for?
The bike lock that fits the key now.
Oh, he has a key, but we can't find the bike lock that fits it. Either or, I told Andre, even if he had a bike lock on it, if this person is determined to steal the bike, they're going to steal the bike. And I'll have to just come in with some bolt cutters and cut the fucking lock. The point is they're stealing from a little boy and they know it. Whoever's doing this, they freaking know it. Because they're coming into my yard more than once. Alright? It's more than one person. Okay? I'm pretty sure. So, I'm kind of upset. I figured that would happen, though. Right? Like I said, people commit crimes, nothing stops them. Right? Doesn't matter what the crime is in British Columbia, Canada. Seriously. Probably some shack around here and just a bunch of drug addicts stealing bikes. Right? That's what it is. Or it's Julian's sister stealing bikes and riding down the road laughing, thinking it's fucking funny, and then just throwing it off into the bush when she gets to wherever she wants to go. Right? Being that's her upbringing. And if it's not her, it's someone like her. Okay? Seriously. Alright. So anyway. So this little bit of fat, this is it for this. I'm so tired. I've been doing this, 3 days straight? 4:30 in the morning, getting up, coming straight in here. I worked in here pretty much all day yesterday. Right? Got up, went to sleep, got up. I've been in here. Right? So, because I want to get it over with. I'm tired. So after I'm done getting this cooking, and actually I think I'll just put that outside for now and keep collecting the lard and do the lard all at one time in terms of jarring it up. Save myself the stress. Why do it twice? Right? But then if I do it, it will be less to do later. That's the thing. I'm tired and I just want to get it over with. I don't want to be doing this for a while. And I won't be. Maybe February or something, January or something. Probably February. I want to use what I have first a little bit. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that I'm at the end of it and tell you that my grandson's bike was stolen again from the yard. They're coming into the front yard, stealing it right from our steps, and they're coming in through the back, going right into the garage, looking around, taking what they want, and the bike. And apparently they left their bike behind in the alley.
By the garbage cans, actually, by the tree.
By the garbage cans.
Yeah, next to the tree.
Yeah, so they're going up the alley with their bike. They noticed Andre's bike because, you know, they're scoping my yard. Left their fucking bike behind because it's all busted up or something wrong with it. And rode off with Andre's. And now Andre's not going to have a bike again. Telling you. I'll be glad when I move away from here one day. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired. Right? Can't even plant potatoes anymore. Right? Or anything for that matter. Because you just don't know. We'll see. As if I want to plant anything anymore. Right. I might try and get out in the yard in the next couple of days. I'm going to rest for a day or two. You know. You put in like long hours like this. It's hard on you, right? But it's over with almost. I'm at the tail end of it. I'm 3/4 done now. So that I'm happy for. So I will come back. Okay, so I am just working. I just wanted to point out, you don't have to heat this up, okay? Once you take it out and you put it in your bowl and whatever, at some point you can come and it's still pourable, right? And in a situation like that, because it's not hot, you can use plastic, okay, whatever. And then I kind of see something on the bottom there, because everything's going to settle to the bottom, right? So I have another pot outside. It's cold, cold, cold. That one I'm going to have to melt down a little bit, and I'm going to strain it again, and then that's when I'll strain that. And I'm still kind of doing this, although I don't think I'm going to get much more grease from this. I'm going to put the lid on it and see if maybe that will just squeeze out a bit more. But other than that, I'm not too worried about it, because I already have lots. And just from that one last little batch that I did, I got 3 full jars plus a bit, right? And then, of course, I'm going to just bag these up and I'm going to freeze them. And I did put a little bit of seasoning salt in this. This is the beef. I already got the pork in the freezer. And it's so good. You don't know. Yeah, definitely going to use that in a meal. So there's going to come a day where every little bit helps, right? Okay, so I'm working really hard on this. This is like going into my 4th day. Saturday, I was up till 4:30 in the morning. I worked Sunday with this, Monday with this, and now we're at 6:30 in the morning on Tuesday, and I've been doing this for the last 3 hours and a bit. So anyway, these are the pork lard, you can see. Okay? So before you put them away for long-term storage, you might want to make sure your rings are nice and dry and your jars are really nice and dry. Okay? So you have to dry everything, okay? Don't just take it from after washing your jar and letting it sit, putting it wherever, because it's going to rust underneath the rim because of moisture. All right? But you want a rim on. You don't have to
we begin today here in the United States, a day in history.
Screw it on tight.
Trump,
right? Because, I mean, it's like any kind of canning jar. If it's going to pop, it's going to pop, right? Taking the ring off helps to, see, this is a little greasy. I can feel it. But I didn't wash off the, I didn't take off the rims when I was washing them because they were still kind of, they hadn't really, you know, whatever. I'm just moving fast. 4 days later, what a detour this was. But when you see, after what I do with that one pot out in the back, and finish up with this, serious, it's really good. I got like 6 full quarts here of quality pork lard. Yeah. And then I have 3 pints of the tallow so far, not including what's in the pot, which is probably about another 5 or maybe 6 more pints. And these ones I'm keeping upstairs. These ones are going in Auntie Shimei's room. And I got two places to think about where maybe I want to put them. I might go with the easier route. Yeah, we'll see. I already got stuff there. I have to move it. What's new? It looks like some of these labels are washing off. I have to write it back on here. I can see it came off this one. So I put the lid on my crock pot to speed up because I want to finish. Alright, I want to get back in the sewing room and I have to clean, right? Laundry's coming again, and I don't know. Kind of tired to go out in the yard and be mucking around out there, but and of course I can't see as well as I'd like to, right? This is nice. Look how nice this is.
income from
So I just wanted you to remember that, okay? Make sure you screw off your lids. Wipe everything down. If you want, you can even take, after the fact, and I'll probably do it, a nice clean rag with some vinegar. And just wipe again quickly, because the vinegar will cut the grease. Because if you've got grease on your rag, you're just spreading it around, right? Because there was a little bit in here, right? But that's okay. You just take another clean rag with a bunch of vinegar, give it one more wipe. Don't use these, don't put those rings back on. Put on clean ones that are completely dry. Right? Because these are going in long-term food storage. Right? Okay, we'll be back. Hold on. Okay, so this is the last little bout. So that's what I didn't do this morning, but I'd already did 3 jars, right? Okay, that came from that. Just that alone. That looks like it's almost enough for 1 more jar. So 4 jars out of that small bag of beef fat, which is pretty good. Now, I'm going to just heat this up slowly. You're not trying to seal these jars. These are going in the freezer. So the less that you heat it, the better it is, okay? So just enough to make it where it can pour, which is melted. And then I'm going to strain it with a new cloth, okay? And then once it's strained with the new cloth, just to catch any little bits and pieces that maybe I missed, because this one wasn't strained twice, and I'll do the same with that. You fill up your jars, wipe things down, right? Put them in the freezer. And then this will also go in the freezer, and I've already got the other bags that I just did earlier today. Because this stuff is like so good, you don't know. Okay, so I think I'm done with this video now. Not too bad. It's 5:30 at night. I started on Saturday afternoon. I went to go pick it up. And then when I got home by 9 o'clock, I was cutting, right? And then got up, went to sleep, got up, just carried on all through Sunday. Pretty much carried on through Monday. And now I'm finishing up. So anyway, in terms of, we'll just go down the line here. Hey, don't you? What do you think? So, okay. So what I've learned about cottage cheese is if you freeze it, unthaw it, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a different texture, right? When you freeze it, they come really small, but they still kind of dry up in clumps. Either or, it doesn't matter. So if you come across a cottage cheese, dry curd, they dry really nice, by the way. And you know how sometimes they have on sale, right? You pick up 4 or 5 of them. If you can't dehydrate it right away, throw it in your freezer and then find the time to do it. Or if you've got old cottage cheese sitting up in your freezer, like I did, listen, this is what you can do with it. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so this one's going into long-term food stores. Now I'm going to vacuum seal this though, right? No oxygen absorber, nothing. Just going to vacuum seal it and put that downstairs with a label. Okay, dry cottage cheese for the most part. There was that one small container that was not dry, but besides that point, everything else was dry. And I'm impressed with the product, and I'll probably do it again. Okay, I'll keep my eyes open because this is a good way to preserve cheese. Okay, maybe not cheddar cheese because that's more greasy and it requires more time, and maybe not as long as shelf stable, but definitely a dry curd. This will sit, trust me, vacuum sealed in a cool, dark place for a long time. Okay, and then we've got, now there is still a half a jar, a pint of this pork fat that's in my fridge because it only filled up half a jar. So I'm going to see if I can make pie with that. Some kind of pie. I'm not sure. I bought chocolate pudding. I've got whipping cream. I kind of want to make chocolate pudding cream pie. So we'll see. And then this was a big batch I got this time around, eh? So we got what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 11? Yeah. 11 pints of beef tallow, which is beef lard, right? Plus, you can see there's a little bit there. So I'll just cover that up and put it in the fridge with the other lard, okay? And of course, these ones are all going in the freezer. These ones I'll be taking downstairs and putting them, I'm not sure yet. There's 2 places I can choose from. So when I take them down, that's when I'll decide. But they're not going in the fridge. They're going very close down to the ground towards the north wall, okay? And then they'll be covered up so that, you know, right? And that's how they're going to sit until such time I need them. And then this is from the beef cracklings. Okay, you can see how much. That's a lot. Plus, we've got twice as much like this with the pork already in the freezer. And then now we got an empty bowl, right? So you can see what I've done here. And most definitely do this again. Most definitely. I'm not going to need any lards for a while. Maybe in February we'll see where we're at with it, okay?